For 15 years, China's most feared stealth fighter had one job: dominate the skies, hunt enemy jets, own the airspace before anyone even knew it was there. The J-20 Mighty Dragon was built for pure air superiority, and that alone made it terrifying. But that job just changed. Beijing has quietly confirmed a new variant of this stealth fighter, and it isn't built to fight other planes. It's built to hunt ships. This isn't a rumor or a leaked report. Chinese state media confirmed it themselves. A twin-seat version of the J-20 can now conduct precision strikes on maritime targets, and that single shift rewrites the threat calculus for every U.S. and allied ship operating across the Pacific. This is the story of how China's stealth fighter just got a terrifying new mission and why it should worry far more than the pilots facing it. Meet the J-20S, a twin-seat variant of China's J-20, and the aircraft that just rewrote what this stealth fighter is actually capable of. Chinese state media confirmed it directly. This variant carries precision strike capability against maritime targets. Not speculation, not a leaked slide from some defense contractor. Confirmed on the record. Stop and think about what that actually means. The J-20 was never designed for this. It was built from the ground up as an AIR superiority fighter, engineered to dominate contested skies, to outsense and outmaneuver enemy aircraft before they even registered a threat. Ships were never part of the original blueprint, until now. China's Central Television spelled it out in language that leaves nothing to interpretation. The J-20S, they said, boasts exceptional medium and long-range air superiority capabilities, alongside precision strike capabilities against ground and maritime targets. Two entirely different mission sets, packed into one airframe. A fighter jet that can dogfight in the morning and hunt a warship by afternoon. This isn't some experimental one-off either. The J-20S is the third publicly announced variant of China's first domestically produced stealth fighter, following the original single-seat J-20 and the upgraded J-20A. Each version pushed the platform a little further, but this one is different. This one doesn't just refine the mission, it expands it entirely, into territory the original design never touched. A fighter jet built to rule the skies now has a second job: hunting targets out at sea. And that raises an obvious question. Why now? Why unveil this specific capability on this specific aircraft at this specific moment in time? The answer isn't buried in some classified technical manual. It's tied to a date. One very particular date that Beijing chose on purpose, timed precisely to send a message about just how far this program has come in a decade and a half. China didn't reveal this new maritime strike capability on a random Tuesday. They chose the 15th anniversary of the J-20's very first flight. That maiden flight happened on January 11, 2011, a date that marked China's entry into the exclusive world of fifth-generation stealth aviation, a club that at the time included only the United States. 15 years later, on that exact anniversary, Beijing used the moment to announce that this same aircraft family had evolved into something far more dangerous than anyone outside China's military expected. That timing isn't a coincidence. It's a message. Anniversaries like this aren't just symbolic dates tucked into a press release. They're chosen deliberately to showcase progress, to draw a straight line from where a program started to where it stands now. 15 years ago, the J-20 was a breakthrough simply for existing, proof that China could design and build a stealth fighter on its own. Now it's being positioned as something else entirely, a multi-role weapon capable of reshaping the naval balance of power across the Pacific. But the twin-seat configuration itself wasn't a surprise, unveiled overnight on this anniversary. Its first public appearance came years earlier, at the Zhuhai Air Show in November 2022. That moment mattered on its own terms. It marked the first confirmed two-seat fifth-generation fighter in the entire world. No other country, not the United States, not Russia, had shown anything like it in an operational configuration. For a brief window, the J-20S was simply a curiosity, a design choice nobody outside China could fully explain. For years after that air show, the J-20S sat in a kind of quiet limbo. Confirmed to exist, confirmed to be flying, training, appearing in satellite imagery, and the occasional grainy photo. But its actual mission set remained largely unclear to outside observers. Analysts speculated about electronic warfare roles. Some guessed at command and control functions. Officials in Beijing stayed silent, offering nothing to confirm or deny any of it. That silence just ended. The anniversary announcement didn't just confirm the J-20S was real and operational. It confirmed for the first time exactly what it's for. 15 years of development, 4 years of public speculation since Zhuhai, all resolved in a single press statement timed down to the day. And once you understand what actually changed physically inside this aircraft, the reason for that long, quiet development period starts to make a lot more sense. This wasn't a simple cockpit modification. It was a redesign built around a completely new mission from the start. So what actually changed inside this aircraft? It starts with that second seat. Behind the pilot sits a dedicated weapons systems officer, and that single addition transforms what the J-20S is capable of doing in real time. Targeting, electronic warfare, continuous tracking of moving naval targets. All of it handled by a second set of hands, while the pilot focuses purely on flying the aircraft. That division of labor matters more than it sounds. Tracking a warship isn't like locking onto a fighter jet streaking through open sky. Ships move slowly, but they're heavily defended, they maneuver, and holding a consistent, accurate targeting picture takes sustained, uninterrupted attention. Asking one pilot to fly a fifth-generation stealth fighter through contested airspace and manage that kind of tracking simultaneously simply isn't realistic. The J-20S solves that problem by splitting the workload entirely between two specialized crew members. Then there's the radar. Analysts believe the J-20S may carry a larger radome housing additional AESA transmit and receive modules, technology that potentially extends its detection range well beyond that of the standard single-seat J-20. A stealth fighter that can see further, track longer, and hold a target picture with more precision than its predecessor ever managed. And it doesn't stop there. The J-20S is reported to be capable of manned-unmanned teaming, meaning it can coordinate directly with drones as part of a larger networked strike package. Picture a stealth fighter operating not alone, but as a human-controlled center of a small robotic strike force, feeding it information, directing its movements, extending its reach far beyond what one aircraft could ever achieve on its own. Put all of that together, and you get an aircraft engineered specifically to find, track, and manage targets at sea with a level of precision the original J-20 was never built for. But here's the part that surprises people most. The J-20S was never designed to deliver the killing blow itself. Its real job in this new mission is something else entirely. Here's the part most people get wrong. The J-20S isn't designed to sink a warship on its own. It doesn't need to. This isn't a bomber loaded with anti-ship missiles hunting for a direct kill. It plays a completely different role in a much larger system, and understanding that system is the key to understanding why this aircraft is so dangerous in the first place. Military planners call it the kill chain. Detect a target, track it, lock in precise targeting data, then hand that data off to whatever weapon is best positioned to actually strike. 4 steps, and the J-20S was built to dominate the first 3. It finds the ship. It tracks its movement across open water. It builds a targeting picture accurate enough to guide a weapon fired from somewhere else entirely. That makes the J-20S a forward sensor and a command node, not a standalone weapon. It slips into contested airspace using its stealth profile, locates a target that other assets might struggle to find or track, and feeds that data to China's long-range missile forces waiting somewhere far out of sight. The actual strike might come from a destroyer hundreds of miles away. The J-20S just made that strike possible in the first place. And this isn't a single experimental aircraft floating around as a proof of concept. More than 300 J-20 family aircraft have reportedly been built and fielded already, spread across multiple PLAAF brigades, with units positioned specifically near the East and South China Seas. That's not a test program tucked away at a remote airbase. That's a deployed operational force sitting exactly where a maritime strike capability would matter most. A stealth fighter that can slip past defenses, find a target, and quietly hand off a kill order to missiles fired from somewhere else entirely. That's not just an upgrade. That's a fundamentally new kind of threat. And it's one that analysts say should worry a lot more than just the pilots flying against it. That worry isn't just speculation. Ben Lewis, founder of PLA Tracker, an organization dedicated to tracking Chinese military activity, put it plainly. This expanded maritime strike role has the potential to significantly increase the risk for U.S. and allied forces operating within or near the first island chain. That chain isn't some abstract line drawn on a Pentagon map. It stretches from Japan through Taiwan and down to the Philippines. And it's exactly where U.S. carriers and allied warships regularly operate day in and day out. It's the zone China has spent years trying to control, and it's now the zone where a stealth fighter can quietly track a ship long before anyone realizes it's being watched. But the J-20S isn't operating alone in this picture. It has a partner, and that partner is what turns this from a concerning capability into a fully realized threat. The YJ-20, a hypersonic anti-ship ballistic missile with an estimated range of roughly 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers. This is the weapon waiting on the other end of that kill chain. The actual strike capability the J-20S is built to feed targeting data into. China revealed the YJ-20 publicly for the first time at the September 3rd, 2025 Victory Day Parade, showcasing it alongside a lineup of other advanced strike weapons in front of the entire world. Then, in late December 2025, state media released footage of the missile being test-fired from the Type 055 destroyer, Wuxi, describing it as a finalization test. In military terms, that phrase means one specific thing. This weapon is nearing the end of development and getting close to full operational deployment. Put the pieces together and the picture becomes impossible to ignore. A stealth fighter that can find and track a target completely undetected. A hypersonic missile capable of striking that target from over 1,000 kilometers away. And a geographic zone where American and Allied ships operate every single day of the year. That's not a coincidence. That's a deliberately engineered system. built piece by piece over years. And it's already coming together faster than most people outside China's own military establishment ever expected it to. The J-20S isn't a standalone story. It's one piece of something much bigger: stealth aviation, hypersonic missiles, a rapidly expanding fleet of Type 055 destroyers, all of it woven together under a single doctrine designed to push American and Allied forces further and further from China's coastline. A fighter jet that once only had to worry about the sky now has a second job, one that reaches out across open water. And that quiet shift, timed deliberately to a 15th anniversary, might end up mattering more than anyone realized at first glance.